Now, the next example is 2x squared plus y to the 8th. Now, if I'm going to do this problem exactly like I did example 1, I'm going to have a real kind of a big trouble finding those binomial coefficients because I have to go down to 8 levels of Pascal's triangle if I'm going to do that. And this problem is a problem I'm not going to finish. I will tell you that right now because there are 9 terms. I'm going to leave the calculation part of it to you, but I'll tell you what you'll need to do. So 2x squared plus y to the 8th. Now, again, I don't really want to go down 8 levels of Pascal's triangle. That's not going to happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up with those binomial coefficients using the formula that we talked about. So instead of getting these numbers this way, I'm going to use its equivalent. So the first one is going to be 8 choose 0, which is really going to be the 1, and then 2x squared to the 8th. Okay? And then that's your first term. So the next term is going to be 8 choose 1. Okay? And then 2x squared to the 7th. You've got to bring the degree down by 1. And then here comes the y. So it'll be y to the first. Notice 7 plus 1 does give me 8. The next one is 8 choose 2. Okay, so it'll be 2x squared to the 6th. So you bring the degree from 7 down to 6. And then the y is now to the 2nd. All right. And then the next one is plus 8 choose 3, 2x squared, 8, 7, 6, now 5. And then y, no y, y to the first, y to the second, now y to the third. 5 plus 3 does give me the 8. And then the next one is going to be 8 choose 4, and then it'd be 2x squared to the 4th, and then y to the 4th as well. So bring the 5 to a 4, bring the 3 up to a 4. Okay, then the next one's going to be 8 choose 5. All right, and then it'll be 2x squared, all right, to the 3rd, and then y to the 4th. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 terms. I have 3 more to go because remember there's 1 more term than the degree. So next one's going to be 8 choose 6, 2x squared, now 5, 4, 3, and now 2, and then y to the 6 because 2 plus 6 has to be the 8. The next one's going to be 8 choose 7, so it'll be 2x squared, now down to the first. So the next one's not going to have any 2x squares. And then y to the 7th. And then the next one is 8 choose 8, which remember was 1. Okay. Have 8 textbooks. You're going to choose all 8 of them. There's one way to do that. 8 choose 8, and that'd be y to the 8th because there is no 2x squared on that one. That term is now gone. So now you got 9 terms. Now it's all about number crunching. It's just getting your calculator out and figuring out what is 8 choose 0, 8 choose 1, 8 choose 2. What are those coefficients? So this is where the calculator comes in handy as opposed to doing it with Pascal's triangle. Sure, I can get those same numbers with Pascal's triangle. It's just going to take me 4 more rows on Pascal's triangle to get there, and I really don't want to go there. So you would do 8 choose 0. I'm going to do some of these because I don't know them all, but 8 choose 0 is 1. Okay, and then 2x squared to the 8th. Well, 2 to the 8th, I believe is 256. And then x squared to the 8th is 2 times 8 is 16, so it's going to be 16 factors of x there. And guys, that's your first term right there. So it's 1 times 256x to the 16th, which is 256x to the 16th. So this one does have 9 terms. That's your first one of your 9. So you got 1/9 of the problem done right there. Now to get to the second part of the 9, then you got to do this expansion. You got to do the math on this one. Well, 8 choose 1 is 8. 2x squared to the 7th, well, 2 to the 7th is actually 128. X to the 14th, and you got yx to the 14th because there are 7 factors of x squared. So that means there's going to be 14 factors of x. So it's going to be x to the 14th, and then there's the y to the first, which is y. One more term. And the rest I'll leave it up to you. Now, on this one, it's 8 choose 2. Now, again, 8 choose 2, you can go down to the 8th level of Pascal's triangle, or you can use do 8 choose 2 that I taught you on the previous part, and that's either by the formula, or I'm hoping by now you will learn that using the calculator is very helpful in these situations. But 8 choose 2, I believe, is like 28. Again, don't hold me to that because I'm just going from memory there. So 8 choose 2 is actually 28. And then 2x squared to the 6 is actually going to be 64x to the 12th, because there's 6 factors of x squared, and then times y squared. Now, as you can tell, you don't want to be doing too many of these types of problems. As a matter of fact, on your homework, the degrees seldom get over 5. I did the one with 8 just to make a point. The degrees, when they get to 8, you really don't want to go Pascal's triangle. You don't want to go that route. The way I usually do it, if the degree is 5 or 6, 6 is kind of iffy. If that number or less, I will use Pascal's triangle to come up with those coefficients. When they become more than that, when the degree is like 7, 8, 9, 10, when the term starts getting way out there and the Pascal's triangle gets really wide at the base, I don't go there. I just use these numbers here. So that's why on the previous parts, I showed you both. I showed you Pascal's triangle, and I showed you the binomial coefficient and how they are related in one of those previous parts. And but anyway, these are 3 of the 9 terms. I will have 6 more to go, and I'm not going to do them all. And I'm not even going to finish this one, as a matter of fact. But this first one's 256x to the 16. This one is whatever 8 times 128 is, which I have no idea what that is. It's a pretty good size number. And you multiply those out. I think it's 1,024 actually, but that's 1,024x to the 14th y. And then 28 times 64, and that I don't know. So you multiply those two numbers, it'll be x to the 12th and y to the 2nd. So, and that would be your third term of your 9 terms. So that's how it works. Now here's the deal. The next part, which is my final part, I am going to show you sometimes they don't want the whole expansion. They just want just a term, just one term. They may have 12 terms in it, so that means it'd be x to the 11th. It may have a lot of terms in it, but they don't want you to list all of them, like this one. I really wouldn't want to list all 9 terms. That's why I didn't do it. Okay, but when the degree gets really large, sometimes they'll say, okay, this thing's going to have 20 terms, but I only want the one that has got the 5th term, or I want the term that has this characteristic. And that's what part 5 is going to be about. So stay tuned on that. So, but this is it for this one right here.